How you doing, everyone? I'm back with an update finally. Going to be vinyl, CD, a mix of hard rock, thrash, everything in between. So I'll get right to it. So first CD, Life of Agony, River Runs Red. This was a recommendation from Mark G with a C and a few others that were involved in our Contact in Blood live stream. So this was one of the albums that Mark picked, and it got really good feedback in the live comments and people who were watching. So I mean, it was described as the perfect album, 10 out of 10. So I didn't really give it much thought, picked it up. Came on this digipack, and I'll hold the CD because the CD will fall out because it's broken. It's pretty bashed up. But yeah, I was surprised with this album because it wasn't really the music, but it was more the vocals that kind of took me by surprise. But it's a good album. I mean, I wouldn't say it was an album that I would jump to all the time, but it was definitely worth a listen, and that's why I kind of love doing those kind of A to Z of rock and metal on the live stream, because you find out about so many bands that you've never even heard of before. So this was one of them. So yeah, really good. So thanks for that recommendation. Finally completed my Rat collection with Infestation from 2010. The last Rat I picked up was their self-titled, and I think that was that maybe late 90s or early 2000s, and it was a good album. It was just a kind of it was a softer version of Rat, I would say, but this is kind of like taking on like the harder edge that they had in the 80s, kind of a return to form, if you like. So I was really happy to pick that up. So I've now completed Rat on CD, and I think I've got up to Detonator on vinyl, so happy with that. So that might cue a ranking soon. Next is going to be Lizzie Borden, Appointment with Death. So this has actually completed my Lizzie Borden studio albums as well. So of course we've all kind of heard of all the stuff that Lizzie Borden released up to 1989. But a lot of this stuff doesn't get shown. So after, like, post 80s, he's released 3 studio albums, I think. Appointment with Death, Deal with the Devil, and My Midnight Things, which has just come out in the last year or so. Out of those 3 post 80s albums, I would say this one's the best. It's just a bit heavier, got better riffs, better sound. So yeah, I was really happy to pick that up. So give that a shot if you've not heard it. Next up is just a wee gap filler, Overkill and Under the Influence. This was a really good deal. I got this off Momox, which is like a German version of Our Music Magpie. So you basically pick up CDs really cheap. And this was £6.50 delivered from Germany, sealed, and it's the Rock Candy reissue. So I could not go wrong with that. And in fact, I didn't even know it was the Rock Candy reissue sealed until I actually received it. I thought it was just some random version. But yeah, got this through the post. I was really happy with that. So you can't beat some 80s Overkill. Next up, an absolute steal, Metalchops debut, 1985. Yeah, I picked this up really cheap. Found a seller on eBay. He was selling some really good stuff for, I think, between £5 and £7 each, like, per CD. And I absolutely jumped on this because you don't see this for that kind of cash normally. So absolutely amazing debut from Metalchops. I almost grabbed this on vinyl, either was it yesterday or the day before, and I got outbid by £2 right at the last minute. I was watching it and I was like, oh! But yeah, I'm glad I got the CD anyway. That's karma. I got the CD for cheap, so I'm having to pay more for the vinyl. More Metalchops. Now this is an album I've not really seen people show. A Light in the Dark, really good stuff. Of course, all the stuff from the debut up until Blessing in Disguise gets talked about, and the last two albums get talked about quite a lot, but this kind of point in time for Metalchops doesn't really get spoken about a lot, or what I've seen anyway, so I thought kind of delve into this kind of stuff, and wasn't disappointed. It was really, really good. I mean, I'd always go back to the 80s stuff. I mean, that's where the classic Metalchops for me is. And people talk about how they pick David Wayne over Mike Howe, or Mike Howe over David Wayne, but not that anybody's making you choose, but I'd always have to go with Mike Howe. I mean, the first album I ever heard from Metalchops was Blessing in Disguise, so Mike Howe was the singer I heard first, so I always kind of leaned towards Mike Howe, but David Wayne's a great singer as well. I mean, there's no denying that, and to be honest, they don't sound overly different. So anyway, talking about David Wayne, this is his last outing with Metalchops, The Dark, on vinyl. Thank God I finally picked it up. This is an album that's escaped me so many times, whether it's been price, condition, or just getting outbid. Finally grabbed this, and so what happens, I put a bid on it. I think it's for about £10. I was watching it, I put in a maximum bid, so I put in the £10 bid, but I put in a maximum bid as well, and then nobody else bid on it, so I got it for a tenner, and it's in really good shape. I would say the jacket's probably VG+, but the vinyl itself is really, really nice, so thank God I finally picked that up. So that is Metalchops, The Dark. So next up we have Coroner and Punishment for Decadence. This is the reissue from 2018. Now Coroner are a band that I kind of lumped in with Autopsy, Obituary, just because of the name and the kind of album covers. I thought, nah, it's probably not something I'm going to be into, so I just kind of ignored them. And then one day I was on YouTube, finally gave it a listen, and I was like, wow, that is not death metal. It's technical thrash, which is one of my kind of favourite genres. When it comes to thrash, I love the frantic stuff, but I really, really connect with the kind of the technical side of thrash, and that's exactly what Coroner are. It's just absolutely awesome. So this was originally released in 1988. This is the first Coroner album I listened to, and I picked it up. I've now gone through a lot of their albums, and I've actually got a couple of them coming in, because just absolutely awesome. So if you like your thrash and you're like me, you're put off by the name or the cover, don't be put off. It's really awesome. So that is Coroner and Punishment for Decadence. Next up, kind of late to the party with this one, but it's Saxon, Thunderbolt. Now Saxon are a band that I don't really, I've struggled to connect with, especially like their 80s stuff, moving on to the 90s stuff. This is the kind of the first album I've listened to all the way through and thought, yeah, that's really good. I mean, songs like Thunderbolt, Nosferatu, Predator, I think is one of the best songs on it. It's just, it's awesome. And it's just kind of the first Saxon album I've thought, yeah, it's like, it's really Judas Priesty. When you think of the 80s stuff, you think Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Saxon. You know, for me, Iron Maiden were kind of head and shoulders above the rest. Then you had Judas Priest, then you had Saxon, which I just didn't really connect with as much. But now I'm connecting with Saxon more than I'm Iron Maiden. I mean, this probably came out around the same time as the Book of Souls, and this is far better than the Book of Souls. And then obviously you've got Firepower from Judas Priest as well, which trumps this and Book of Souls. So yeah, just really, really good. So glad I've kind of finally connected with a Saxon album. The next up, Sabaton, some power metal, Coat of Arms. When was this originally released? 2010 on Nuclear Blast. I've spoke about Sabaton a lot in my videos. Just awesome. One of the, I would say, the leading power metal bands that are going just now. Some absolutely awesome songs on this. Uprising, The Final Solution, White Death, Metal Ripper, just really good stuff. And Sabaton vinyl, apart from the newer stuff, Sabaton vinyl is really cheap to pick up. I mean, I think this was 12 quid. And I've got one in my watch list on Amazon. I think it's Heroes. That's 13 quid. I don't even know why I've not picked it up yet. I think it's because it's been £13 for so long. I've just kind of left it there. But I'm really kind of lacking on Sabaton vinyl. So I'm finally starting to pick it all up. I think it's because I've got it all on CD. So, but that's not the point, Scott. You've got to get it on vinyl. So yeah, Sabaton, Coat of Arms, awesome. Now for the goodies. Found a seller on eBay selling some amazing stuff. So one of the albums I've been wanting for a while. It's expensive on cassette, it's expensive on CD, it's expensive on vinyl. So there was no way around it apart from maybe buying a bootleg. So I just kind of had to wait it out and see what kind of came up. The other one, so remember these two are from the same seller. The other one I've known about, I've seen the album, not in the wild, but I've seen it. I've seen plenty of people show it. And I had to admit, I'd never listened to it. I don't know why. I'm sure you guys have these kind of wee stupid things as well when it comes to music or collecting, that you'll see an album shown a million times, but for some reason you'll just not sit down and listen to it. And when you do sit down and listen to it, you think, why have I not listened to this before? So I'll show you the first one. So these are two kind of not expensive albums, but they're kind of on the higher end of what I like to pay for an album. On the high end. So basically I thought either get one and be happy with the one and let the other one go, or I try and strike a deal for the two of them, because these two albums you hardly ever see. So the first one is Queensryche and The American Way. Now I've been looking for this on any format for so long that I was almost giving up. And then when I saw this come up, I thought, right, this could just be the chance that I get to grab it, because it's an absolutely awesome album. So I was humming and hawing about it. Comes with the original inner. And then I looked through the seller's other stuff, because I thought you kind of get that. You kind of get the idea that you think, right, if they've got this, what else have they got? And I kind of had to make a choice. And it was between Zentrix, Shattered Existence, or this. And remember, I had not listened to this album until probably the day after one of our live streams, where I kind of got a bit of shit because I'd never heard this. And it's Violence, Eternal Nightmare. So yeah, definitely one of those albums I thought, why have I never listened to this before? And it's I don't know how many times I've seen this being shown on in the VC, and I've just never ever given it a chance. So I finally picked it up. So it all came about that we were talking about, I think this was kind of brought up in one of the live streams, and I had to admit I'd never heard it, and everybody just kind of went, what? You've never heard Eternal Nightmare? What are you doing? So I think it was the day after, I gave it a listen and I thought, yeah, I really should have listened to this. So it just kind of popped up. I've not been, and this could be one of those albums that collectors look for years, try to get a good price and good condition, and I think I had to wait maybe 2-3 weeks when it popped up. And it was between this and Zentrix that I thought, which one do I go for? And I thought this would probably be the hardest one to get a hold of. So I just put in bids. Well, no, what I did was I kind of contacted the seller and I kind of explained that I was looking to buy these two albums, but what could we do and what's the best price? Because I think it was up at, what did they want for it? I think it was £75 for the two of them, and I was like, that's high for me. And I know they're kind of really sought after, but at the same time, you don't want to pay over the odds. So we had a bit of a discussion back and forward, and I finally got it down quite a bit. I kind of I was kind of coming out with stuff about I couldn't go higher because of the condition, but to be honest, the condition's not too bad. There's obviously a bit of spine wear on the jacket, but I mean, for the album and the vinyl itself is absolutely awesome. I mean, it's at least VG+, so yeah, to get these two coming in the same package on the same day, pretty special. So yeah, really happy with those two. I mean, those would easily be grails for others, and I'm just lucky that I grabbed these two at the same time. So if you've not checked them out, check them out. Violence, check them out. Now I'm saying check them out if you haven't, but I have to say, out the two, Sacred Reich beats it. I don't know. This is just the perfect album, in my opinion. It's an awesome thrash album that should be in everyone's collection if you can find it. So that's it. I feel like I've kind of mumbled my way through this video, but yeah, CDs, vinyl. I'll hopefully be back soon. I've got a Sabotage ranking video to do. I've finally got my list. It's taken me a while to get my list together, but yeah, hopefully get it out in the next couple of days. And until then, let me know what you think of my pickups, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.